The early 20th century saw European powers forming intricate political and military alliances. These complex pacts significantly shaped the geopolitical landscape before World War I. Italy was a key participant in one such major pre-war agreement. This alliance was known as the Triple Alliance, a significant military and political bloc. Italy's membership in the Triple Alliance was a crucial element of pre-WWI European diplomacy. The Triple Alliance was a military pact established in 1882. It formally united three major European powers: Germany, Austria, Hungary, and Italy. The primary objective of this alliance was to ensure mutual defense among its members. This agreement stipulated that an attack on one member would be met with military support from the others. The Triple Alliance significantly influenced the balance of power in late 19th and early 20th century Europe. At the outbreak of World War I in 1914, Italy declared its neutrality. This decision was made despite Italy's membership in the Triple Alliance. The Triple Alliance included Germany and Austria-Hungary. Italy's neutrality was based on specific interpretations of the alliance's terms. Italy's stance on the Triple Alliance centered on its classification as a defensive pact. This interpretation implied that Italy's military support was conditional. Assistance would only be rendered if an ally faced an unprovoked attack. Italy argued that Austria-Hungary's actions against Serbia were aggressive, not defensive. Consequently, Italy contended that the defensive clause of the alliance was not triggered. This interpretation provided a basis for Italy to withhold military involvement in the conflict. Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia, initiating a major conflict. Italy interpreted this declaration as an act of aggression. This offensive act released Italy from its Triple Alliance obligations. Consequently, Italy maintained neutrality at the war's outset. Italy harbored significant territorial ambitions beyond mere legal interpretations. These ambitions primarily focused on gaining control over specific regions. Many of these desired territories were part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. This expansionist drive was a key factor in Italy's foreign policy. Certain territories were highly coveted due to their strategic importance or demographic composition. These included regions such as South Tyrol, Trentino, and Istria. South Tyrol and Trentino, for instance, were significant for their Italian-speaking populations. Istria was also desired, primarily for its strategic value and access to the Adriatic Sea. Italy's strategic geographical position held significant importance for both alliances during the conflict. Its potential military contribution was also a crucial factor in the diplomatic considerations. The Central Powers, recognizing this, initiated diplomatic negotiations to secure Italy's support. Simultaneously, the Allied powers also engaged in extensive diplomatic efforts. Both sides aimed to persuade Italy to join their respective alliances. These negotiations highlight the intense competition for strategic allies during the period. During wartime negotiations, Italy sought territorial gains from both the Allied and Central Powers. The Allied powers, including Britain, France, and Russia, presented a more attractive offer. They proposed substantial territorial concessions to Italy, exceeding those from the Central Powers. These promises influenced Italy's strategic alignment and entry into the conflict. In April 1915, a significant diplomatic event occurred during World War I. This involved the formalization of promises made to Italy by the Allied powers. These commitments were enshrined in a confidential pact known as the Treaty of London. The treaty explicitly detailed the territorial gains Italy would receive. These acquisitions were contingent upon an Allied victory in the ongoing conflict. The agreement aimed to secure Italy's entry into the war on the Allied side. The Treaty of London outlined specific territorial and economic benefits for Italy. Italy was promised South Tyrol, Trentino, Istria, and parts of Dalmatia. These territorial acquisitions were significant expansions for the nation. The treaty also included various smaller territories and economic advantages for Italy. In May 1915, Italy formally entered World War I. This decision marked a significant shift in the geopolitical landscape of the conflict. Italy joined the Allied powers, aligning with nations such as Britain, France, and Russia. This move meant abandoning its former allies within the Triple Alliance, including Germany and Austria-Hungary. Italy joined the Allies during World War I, shifting its allegiance from the Central Powers. The primary theater of conflict for Italy was known as the Italian Front. This front was situated along Italy's border with the Austro-Hungarian Empire. The terrain of the Italian Front was predominantly mountainous, presenting significant challenges. Its rugged landscape made military operations exceptionally difficult for both sides. The geographical features profoundly influenced the strategies and tactics employed throughout the war. Mountain warfare is characterized by extreme combat conditions, Allies. Soldiers faced brutal challenges in rugged, high-altitude environments. Harsh weather, including snow, ice, and strong winds, is a constant factor. The terrain itself presents significant obstacles to movement and logistics. These conditions demand specialized training and equipment for survival and combat effectiveness. The battles of the Isonzo were a series of 12 major military engagements. These battles occurred between 1915 and 1917, primarily on the Isonzo front. They involved significant clashes between Italian and Austro-Hungarian forces. The prolonged conflict resulted in immense casualties for both sides. Trench warfare characterized many battles, particularly during World War I. This combat style involved opposing forces fighting from fortified, static trenches. A common tactic was the frontal assault, where troops advanced directly towards enemy lines. These assaults often occurred across open ground, making soldiers vulnerable. The combination of static defenses and frontal attacks led to exceptionally high casualties. Both sides suffered staggering numbers of dead and wounded due to these tactics. The Battle of Caporetto occurred in October 1917 during World War I. It involved Italian forces against Austro-Hungarian and German armies. The Central Powers launched a major offensive, breaking through Italian lines. This resulted in a catastrophic defeat and a massive retreat for Italy. The battle highlighted the strategic and tactical superiority of the attacking forces. The Caporetto defeat was a significant military setback for Italy during World War I. This event occurred in October 1917. On the Isonzo front, the Austro-Hungarian and German forces launched a highly effective offensive. Italian forces were overwhelmed, leading to a rapid and extensive retreat. The Italian army was forced to fall back dozens of kilometers, losing substantial territory. The defeat nearly resulted in the complete collapse of the Italian war effort. Following the Battle of Caporetto, the Italian front faced a critical situation. Allied nations dispatched significant reinforcements to Italy. These forces were crucial in stabilizing the collapsing Italian defensive lines. The arrival of Allied support prevented a complete military breakdown. This intervention also significantly bolstered Italian morale and fighting spirit. The Battle of Vittorio Veneto occurred in October 1918. It marked a decisive military victory for Italy. This battle led to the complete collapse of the Austro-Hungarian army. The defeat at Vittorio Veneto also triggered the dissolution of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. After the war, Italy acquired territories as promised in the Treaty of London. These acquisitions included strategically important regions such as South Tyrol. Trentino, a historically significant area, also became part of Italy. The Istrian Peninsula, with its Adriatic coastline, was another key gain. These territorial expansions significantly altered Italy's national borders. Italy entered World War I with expectations of significant territorial gains. These expectations were based on agreements and promises made by Allied powers. However, Italy did not receive all the territories it anticipated after the war. Specifically, parts of Dalmatia, a region on the Adriatic Sea, were not ceded to Italy. Additionally, other colonial concessions that Italy felt it was owed were not granted. The term mutilated victory describes a national sentiment in Italy after World War I. It arose from a significant discrepancy between Italy's wartime expectations and post-war reality. Italy had anticipated substantial territorial gains and influence following its participation in the war. However, the peace settlement did not meet these ambitious expectations, leading to widespread disappointment. This profound dissatisfaction with the peace terms fueled the mutilated victory sentiment. It reflected a feeling that Italy had been denied its rightful rewards despite its wartime sacrifices. The perception of a mutilated victory significantly impacted Italy's political landscape. This concept fueled widespread political instability across the nation. It generated deep resentment among the populace, contributing to national disillusionment. The resulting climate was marked by profound anger and discontent within Italian society. Post-war discontent created an environment ripe for political extremism. Widespread feelings of national humiliation fueled ultranationalist sentiments. This fertile ground led to the emergence of fascism in Italy. Benito Mussolini capitalized on these conditions, ascending to power.